Good morning. Welcome to JP's Morning Brief for May 12th, 2026, aka Ricky's birthday. All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy birthday again to Covite for Life. Like I just told him, another trip around the sun. Um, if you are able to chat, don't forget, put in the chat happy birthday uh, to Covite for Life. At least someone besides just me. Tell him happy birthday, okay? All right, so welcome um, to the morning brief. We're getting started here, ramping up. We actually got people coming in today, which is cool. Um, Besides being Ricky's birthday, uh, please click the follow button to follow the podcast and give us a like for the episode, and uh, and then give us a chat. Chat in the live chat. Like I tell people, it's only temporary. Let's cut up, have fun, ask questions. We do this every day. We do it every day. We just have a blast doing it. All right. So with that out of the way, I'm going to read. It's a little part one of part two letter um, from John Adams to James Warren. Why does it look like there's more? Oh, okay, because I got two deals here. All right. So yeah, this is part one of part two. Do part two at lunchtime when I do the JP8 report. All right. So this is a letter from John Adams to James Warren, um, May 12th, 1776. My dear friend, yours of April 30th was handed to me yesterday. My writing so seldom to you proceeds from necessity, not choice. I assure you, I can sympathize with you in your ill health, because I am always unwell myself. Frail as I am, at best, I am feebler in the climate than at home. The air here has no spring, and my mind is overborne with burdens. Many things are to be done here, and many more to think upon day and night. Cares come from Boston and from Canada, from 12 other colonies, from innumerable Indian tribes, from all parts of Europe and all in the West Indies. Cares arise in the city and in the most illustrious assembly, and care springs from colleagues. Cares enough. Don't you pity me? I would be some comfort to be pitied, but I will scatter them all. Avaunt, ye demons! Beware, you demons! I think that means, and an address to the Convention of Virginia, which is published here, an antidote to the popular poison in thoughts of government. Read it. Read it and see the difference of sentiment in New England. The thoughts of government will be disdained, and we read the thoughts of government about 3 weeks ago, because they are not popular enough. In the southern colonies, they will be despised and dissected because too popular. But my friend, between you and me, there is one point that I cannot give up. You must establish your judges' salaries as well as commissions. Otherwise, justice will be protest. Your liberties, lives, and fortunes will be the sport of winds. I don't expect, nor indeed desire, that it be attempted to be like the governor of a negative in our colony, make him president with a casting voice. Let the militia act remain as it is. But I hope you will make a governor or president in May. Congress have passed a vote in remarkable unanimity for assuming government in all the colonies, which remains only for a preamble. You will see it in a few days. It is the fate of men and things which do great good, that they always do great evil too. Common sense, by his crude, ignorant notions of a government by one assembly, will do more mischief in dividing the friends of liberty than all the Tory writings together. He is a keen writer, but very ignorant in the science of government. I see a writer in one of your papers who proposes to make a hodgepodge of the council and house. If this is attempted, farewell. Okay, so that's part one of part two. I will do the rest of it this afternoon when I do the regular JPA report. All right. Any any happy birthdays for Ricky yet? Come on, let's give him a happy birthday. Anyone in the chat, say happy birthday, Ricky. He'll love it. All right. So the armament shop. The armament shop. Whether you're looking for your first firearm, upgrading your setup, or need expert service, Jason at the armament shop is Copper's Cove's premier source of all things shooting. Browse our wide selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, backed by top-tier gunsmithing for repairs, along with reloading supplies and professional cleaning to keep your firearm in peak condition. Need a transfer? We make FFL's transfers fast, easy, and affordable. Need your CHL? Jason can handle those classes. He has over 3 decades of experience. Visit the Armament Shop today at 115A West Avenue D in Coppers Cove, or call or text at 254-560-2023, or reach them at www.armamentshop.com. That's www.armamentshop.com. The Armament Shop, your safety, our priority. All right. Thank y'all very much for letting me read that as we get started. Any others yet? Nope. I guess, Ricky, they want you to take your trip around the sun all by yourself. All right. Don't worry. I'm here with you. Okay, make sure I'm still online because I'm swirling now for some reason. And coffee. Let me hit refresh here real quick. Yep, I'm live. Okay, good. All right. So the Iran update. Project Freedom. President said yesterday 1% chance that ceasefire is going to continue. Trump considers military action in Iran. Iraq denies Israel had a secret air base inside of its borders. Iran refuses U.S.-led Hormuz proposal. Iran cracked down on the largest non-Muslim minority inside of its country, which is standard for Iran itself, but it's making itself known again. A report from United Against Nuclear Iran is leadership is preparing a plan to flee Russia, and it was confirmed yesterday that the United Arab Emirates secretly struck Iran on the first day of the ceasefire, and Iran executed a man accused of passing secrets to the CIA. All right, and then Brent crude oil this morning was trading at $107.12 a barrel, and West Texas Intermediate was trading at $101.24 a barrel. And the Dow Jones yesterday closed up 95.31 points to 49,704.47. All right. Now, before I go on to the next part, I was listening to someone on a podcast yesterday, and they were either the podcast or it was on the news, and they brought some reality back to the price of gas going up and down to the extremes all the time, right? And we're all complaining about it, right? So if oil is such a commodity being traded on an open market, why is it when you go in and when you go in and you buy a quart of oil at the local auto supply store, the price of oil is always the same, whether you buy it today or tomorrow, the next day, or the next day or the next day at that. So you go in and buy a little bottle of Exxon SAE 30, okay? But it's the same price, like $1 for a quart or something like that, right? But it's like that all the time. It ain't fluctuates. But you would go out and buy a gallon of gas. Like yesterday it was $3.87 a gallon here in Harker Heights. Um, but you come in tomorrow, maybe $4.11. What gives? The oil, gas comes from oil. So what is the deal with the price of gas going up and down as it is? I know the president's doing his best to get the price of oil down, and I think he's working on the market to get the price of gas to stabilize so it doesn't give all of us a heart attack every single morning we go outside. Oh man, I need gas. Oh, let me cut off my right arm, so I can afford to put a couple gallons inside. But that's just something to think about. Okay, if you have any insights about that, put it in the live chat so all of us get a good view of what's going on. All right. So the morning brief. What are we looking at? We're at 6:41. All right. Um, Man, I froze up again. What's up with that? Hold it. Okay, I'm back. All right. So the first one is one of the things I was talking about in the Iran brief. Uh, so there's a rumor going around that members of the senior Iranian leadership is planning to take off and go to go to Russia. Right? Okay, that's only a rumor. And also, is the Ayatollah Khomeini, is he even alive? Is he, right? The apparent collapse of high stakes U.S. Iran negotiations has intensified fears that senior figures inside of Tehran's leadership could flee to Russia, seeking refuge to continue their insurgency and undermine any new regime. The breakdown in talks comes as Israel Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu told CBS 60 Minutes that toppling Iran's regime could now even be a more realistic outcome. And Netanyahu noted that any collapse would dismantle the scaffolding of Tehran's global terror proxy network, also potentially ending Hezbollah's influence in the region. The whole scaffolding of the terrorist proxy network that Iran built collapses if the regime in Iran collapses, and then how you said. Um, so that is a very real possibility because without Iran, you don't have Hezbollah. Without Iran, you don't have Hamas. Without Iran, you don't have the Houthi rebels, right? Um, Without Iran, you know, they have a potential of exporting terrorism all around the world, and that's something we have to be aware of because oh man, my TV turned off. Okay, I thought I had it fixed again. So what I did was with the TV, I put it in. I put another screen in it for the for JP's morning brief, and it went into slideshow mode. I don't know how to fix that. Maybe Ricky could show me sometime, but yeah, man, that sucks. Okay, that's all right. Just happened to look up and it was gone because my screen froze again on me. There we go. All right. Um, so what was that? Iran fleeing. So if the leadership in Iran fled, the IRGC would have to flee also. That would lead to ramifications that would probably lead to the complete disintegration of the government in Iran, the theocratic government that they have in place there right now, and probably a period of civil war would erupt there until someone was able to establish an authority. That's how it would go. That is why they don't need access to nuclear weapons. That's one of the reasons right there. All right. I'm sure there's going to be more to come on that as the day goes by. Sorry about the blank screen. You can where it is. That's my. I'm looking for the reflection behind me. Okay, well, whatever. All right. So the next big story is coming out today, right? Is Congressman Darrell Issa has introduced a resolution aimed at reversing the two impeachments of President Trump in the House of Representatives in a move that will rectify a situation where Democrats were used knowingly false information in a partisan attempt to destroy the president's reputation. He submitted House Resolution 211, referred to the House Judiciary Committee, declares that both Trump impeachments approved by the House in 2019 and 2021 should formally be expunged, as if such article has never passed the full House of Representatives. The fact is that the Constitution doesn't spell out what to do if you're wrongfully indicted. If you wrongfully indicted someone, I told Fox News Digital, and impeachment is basically an indictment that is, and it's an indictment that you can't really be acquitted from. An impeachment is basically an indictment, and it's an indictment that you really can't be acquitted from. If you are impeached in the House, famously, where do you go to get your reputation back? Is the question. And that's the sort of problem we're dealing with, which is that the president was wrongfully accused. The evidence is now out, and there has been that there was withheld information and false information. But where do we go from to unring this bell? And the answer is we go back to Congress and we go back to the House floor and we have a vote. I guarantee you he will not receive a single Democrat vote when this hits the floor. I can bet your bottom dollar right now that he will not receive a single. Why does it froze again on me? Man, okay, this is unbelievable. Refresh. Okay. But yeah, so I do not see that this would receive a single Democrat vote. It needs to be processed. It needs to be approved. But the problem is they expunge it from the history from the rolls of Congress. But in reality, for the history, the Democrats got what they wanted. They got to impeach Trump twice. They never got a conviction, which is awesome. But they impeached him twice for stuff he didn't do or even attempted to do at all. And so once you get written down in history as something that happened to you, it happened to you. Um, I mean, the annals of history littered with people that were completely innocent and they were accused of being guilty and they've always been told they were guilty even though they were innocent. If that even makes sense at all, because it does make sense. All right, Alabama. Alabama now is, what are we doing? 649. Okay. All right. So Alabama yesterday petitioned to the Supreme Court to review their requirements to the Article 2, I think it was, of the Voter Rights Act, right? Uh, Concerning that anytime they make changes to their congressional maps, it has to go before a court for approval. Yesterday, the Supreme Court came back and they agreed. Uh, so Grandma Ivy, um, she signed a law Friday that demanded the governor call a special primary elections for impacted House seats if the Supreme Court allows the state to utilize the district lines its legislature approved in 2023, but has been blocked from using. The governor signed similar legislation pertaining to state Senate districts approved in 2021. Uh, with this special session successfully behind us, Alabama now stands ready to quickly act should the courts issue favorable rulings from our ongoing redistricting cases. I thank the legislature for answering my call to address the issue in fast order. I am grateful to Speaker Ledbetter and Pro Tem Gutteridge for their strong leadership and focus this week. Alabama knows our state, our people, and our districts best. On a federal court on Friday denied an emergency motion to stay the congressional redistricting case. Really, the Supreme Court 2 weeks ago says you can't have race-based congressional districts. So they appealed it to the Supreme Court. So yesterday, the Supreme Court on Monday afternoon cleared the way for Alabama to use a congressional map that a lower court had blocked on the ground that it violated Section 2 of the VRA, the Voter Rights Act, which prohibits racial discrimination in voting. The justices threw out a lower court order barring Alabama from using the map, which it adopted in 2023, and sent the dispute back to the lower court for another look. Justice Sonia Sotomayor dissented from Monday's decision in a 4-page opinion joined by Kagan and Jackson. No duh, right? Birds of a feather will flock together, especially when they're liberal birds or donkeys. In her view, the court's order was inappropriate and will cause only confusion as Alabamians begin to vote on their election scheduled for next week. The dispute began 5 years ago when Alabama enacted a new congressional map in the wake of the 2020 census. A group of black voters and civil rights organizations went to federal court where they alleged the new map violated Section 2 of the VRA because it spread black voters in southern Alabama across 3 congressional districts, leaving them in a minority in each. Let's put it like this. The Voter Rights Act was changed by the Supreme Court, said it was no longer needed at all. The deal about the 2020 census, in May of 2020, when the George Floyd stuff happened, they made him look like he was a saint, and the man wasn't a saint, and he caused a lot of mayhem. His death was unfortunate, but people cascaded off his death and made everything look more racial than it was. And people made bad decisions, and they did. And I thought I unplugged something. Okay, I'm going to have to restart my computer in just a little bit. Where are we doing that? We're at 6:55. All right, let's see. My screen keeps freezing over here. Okay, I'm back. But this is from SCOTUS blog. This was written yesterday. We'll get more into this afternoon. Congratulations, Alabama. You're going to have free and fair elections again. Act Blue. Act Blue. If you don't know what Act Blue is a fundraising mechanism for the Democrat Party. Well, they have been in the midst of several investigations about voter fundraising fraud. Would you believe they accepted gift cards for political donations, which is totally against the law, but they still did? The House Administration Committee Chairman Brian Steele from Wisconsin introduced a legislative package on Monday designed to improve transparency and security in campaign finance as a major Democrat payment processor faces scrutiny over foreign donations. Steele's package includes two bills: Campaign Finance Transparency Act and Preventing Foreign Influence on American Elections Act, Fox News has learned. The first piece of legislation would impose a suite of new transparency regulations on organizations that process political donations, such as ActBlue, while a second proposed law prevents foreign nationals from funding election related activities through means other than campaign contributions. A spokesman for Steele confirmed at Fox News that they plan to expedite consideration through these bills through the administration committee. My investigation to ActBlue has demonstrated that the current campaign finance laws weren't drafted for the modern era we live in, the congressman told Fox News. The major gaps we've uncovered are being exploited by fraudsters and foreign nationals to make illegal political donations. For example, right now, an individual can make a fraudulent donation online with someone else's name and avoid getting caught. That's an unacceptable vulnerability that bad actors are taken advantage of. Completely correct. Um, so maybe they can finally get their act together. And it says when red is also, that's a conservative equivalent to Act Blue, would also be covered by the laws if they pass. Um, and what's good for the goose is good for the gander anyway, right? We should be equal footing with all fundraising. All right, we're at 6:57. We are going to stop at this point. I'm going to read my stuff about tonight. All right. So tonight is the great um, meet and greet we have arranged for right here in Copper's Cove at 6 p.m. At Giovanni's. All right. It's Giovanni's is on Highway 190. All people are um, invited to attend. We got it's going to be held in coordination with the Coppers Cove Conservative Club. This group I founded about 5 years ago. We're still going strong, and we had the venue, we had the time, and the Coryell County Republican Party asked us to join for this event, which is awesome. Okay, but don't forget it's going to be at the at Giovanni's at 6 p.m. All right. So as I go back onto here, go back up to here. So we did invite um, all the candidates from Judge Miller, the Rob Irwin, Commissioner Weddle, and Tony Meyer, Ray Eshby, and Justin Smith. All six have been invited. Um, hopefully, all six come by. We welcome it, and you don't have to stay for all 2 hours. It's a drop in. Okay, you come in, ask a few questions, eat some food at Giovanni's, so the food is good. Show them for some love, right? Um, and then go home. And then after that, consider who you're going to vote for. And during the early vote starts up on 18th of May, goes through the 22nd of May. And if you want to wait to election day, that would be the 26th of May. All right. And like I keep telling people, I'm endorsing Ken Paxton for Senate, Mays Middleton for Attorney General, Bo French for the Railroad Commission, and Rob Irwin for county judge. All right. So I'm going to get ready for this raid if I'm able to. My computer keeps freezing. I'm going to restart this thing in just a minute. There we go. Give me a second. Copy. Do you copy? Control V. Let's see if it works since my screen is froze. There we go. I will see you all at 12 o'clock with the JP8 report. This is James Pierce. I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm out. Stream starts in 4, 3, 2, 1.